everyone. This is ICO Talk. My name is Yelena, and my guest today is Saurabh Bhola, a co-founder of VuePay. Good afternoon, Saurabh. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Our pleasure is all mine, Elena. Thank you for inviting me.
So, if I got it right, with VuePay, all users will be paid for watching the advertisements, which sounds absolutely great. But I know that there are already a few similar projects on the market. So will you please tell us a few words about VuePay and about its advantages over other projects?
Yeah, so I think the first of all, what you said about users watching advertisements and getting paid is the USP, which is in essence what VuePay intends to do. But I think I want to make a very clear point here that it is not the only thing VuePay intends to do. That's just to entice a lot of our audience, because obviously there is a monetary benefit, or there will be a benefit in terms of getting VuePay tokens, which fuels the platform. But I think in what we are trying to do at VuePay is create a fair advertisement ecosystem, which is our philosophy, in the sense that if you look at today, the main players in the market are Facebook and Google. I mean, you just think of the big advertisers or people who bring advertisements to consumers. You think about Google and Facebook, and these guys earn billions of dollars from what they do, and they're very good at it, right?
Yeah.
But if you think for a minute, a lot of that revenue is, I'm assuming, going into scaling their platforms, upgrading their software, building new technology and always revolutionizing the way advertisement works.
Yeah.
But none of that revenue stream kind of trickles down to the consumers, not as an incentive to watch an advertisement. But what we are thinking is that if you can do a bit of distribution of that huge revenue share with the consumers and entice them in a more intelligent way, in a more engaging peer-to-peer way, then it might be more beneficial, right? So I'll give you an example. Say, for example, today, the way advertisement works is, let's take a very simple example on YouTube. You go on YouTube, it's very context-based, right? So you go in YouTube and you go, okay, I want to buy a car. I'm searching for a car, and I'm interested in an electric car. Show me what all electric car brands are available in the market today, right? You go to YouTube, right? Maybe you go to YouTube and you want to watch a video, or you want to watch what the car looks like. And, instead of kind of having a feel, you want to go on to the website and do a YouTube, Google it, the car comes up, and you can kind of, outside actually feeling it, you can go in and look at how the car looks and feels like. But what you do is you do a contextual search. So you go and you search for a car, and it gives you the results for the electric car. What at VuePay we are trying to do is, we are trying to target the user on the mobile devices, because most of the users would be on the fly. They would use their mobile devices, phones, iPads, etc. What if you were looking for a particular car, or you were searching for a particular car brand, an electric car brand, and all of a sudden you start seeing these intelligent messages which tell you that, the car brand you're looking for is what they are advertising about. And naturally, you would go and start looking at those notifications, and you would be interested in those brands and those cars, because this is what you're looking for in the first place. So we don't want to clutter anybody's platform, in the sense that today, if you look at advertising, most of the people on the mobile devices hate ads. Like, nobody wants to. They would put in ad blocking software to block ads. So the other thing is, why would you want to watch ads? So we want to our vision is to make it very predictable, very intelligent platform for the users, where it would be their go-to way to watch advertisements, and in a very intelligent and predictive manner. And to do that, they also get rewarded in terms of the VuePay tokens. It's just, they get rewarded in terms of VuePay tokens is because the platform works using the VuePay tokens. It's a fuel in the platform, and the way the Ethereum and the blockchain technology works. In essence, it incentivizes the consumer to hold the tokens, and as the demand and supply balance increases or decreases in the market, they can also treat their VuePay tokens as assets, which eventually they can sell off for a profit. But I think I would like to emphasize the point that that is the secondary benefit. The primary thing which we're trying to create is a fairness in the ad world with intelligent and predictive targeting for the consumers.
Okay, that's as far as you've mentioned your tokens, I would like to ask you about the role of blockchain technology in your particular project.
So why we went to use the blockchain technology was multifold. We get auditability, we get inherent transparency, we can do a lot of peer-to-peer targeting, and we can get to this niche market and predict and target our audience in a more approachable fashion. So I think that's the essence we used the blockchain technology.
Oh, okay, I see.
And I think another benefit is that most of the payments could be settled in an inherent way, because we don't have to build a backbone layer. It is already available. So, in terms of how the advertising and how the revenue distribution would work, we already have the backbone which we could leverage to do all of that.
So if I got it right, your project is absolutely unique, yeah?
Well, it is. It has some synergies with the basic attention token. Basic attention token, the Brave browser, is a browser-based technology. Again, it can be used on the mobile phones. And Brave is also targeting a bigger market. It is targeting all of the content. We are starting slow. We just want to target the ads and the ad publishers. And we don't have a middleman, in the sense that we don't have a concept of publishing. The creators of the advertisers can publish their content through VuePay. So we are creating this platform through which all the advertisements would be published. It's not, in essence, like you would have various publishers for various content distributions. We are eliminating all the middlemen from our platform.
I see. And when did you start VuePay? Is it a startup?
It is a startup. We conceptualized the idea 5 months ago. And we started. So I think the most important thing for us is to build a really good core team about people who know this stuff, people who know blockchain, people who know data, people who know data science, people who know predictive modeling, people who know artificial intelligence, people who know how to run big teams. So we've got a mix of all of this in our team. We've around 10 unique people in our team who have a length and breadth of broad experience around all of these core areas. So be it Ethereum blockchain, be it artificial intelligence, be it machine learning, be it data, be it management. We've got a mix of all people averaging around 15 to 20 years of experience in their field.
Okay. And why did you start to launch, why did you decide to launch the ICO right now? What are your aims as far as the development is concerned?
So I think this was a natural progression for us. We didn't have a date or a plan really as to, we wanted to be very certain that we do the right thing in the right way. And it took us the length of time it took us because we needed to be certain. We did a lot of research in the market to see if there are other platforms, other softwares, which are trying to do something very, very similar, what their roadmap was, if they're doing it, and what is the integration for us if we wanted to be partners with them, etc. So, there's a lot of background work which has gone in behind the scenes to actually decide a particular day and a date as to when we'll do the launch. What was the second part of your question? Sorry, I didn't get it. So.
Ask actually about your aims. Why did you decide to launch the ICO right now, and what are the aims of as far as the development is concerned? What are the key milestones of development?
So I think the roadmap is basically we want to build out the backbone, the back end first. And then we are going to be concentrating on building an app, which we plan to release within 9 months if we are successful. So when I say the backbone, the VuePay platform would be the backbone where the advertisers and the consumers would both sort of merge along. And, you know, the advertisers are going to publish their advertisements using a VuePay platform, which is going to be the backbone. And then the consumer would need a VuePay app or a VuePay wallet, which would be app-based for both Android and iOS devices. So most of our roadmap would be based on building the backbone first. And once we have the backbone ready, we already are working on conceptualizing a prototype, and we will start building the backbone and start the development very, very soon. Even if we don't get the desired funding, we want to still go ahead and look at whatever angel seed funding we've raised and go through an alternative channel to at least go and build our backbone and be on the path to then release the app eventually, I think by around May 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the money would be spent in building the backbone, which would kind of do your predictive advertising targeting for the consumers, the machine learning bit, learning from users and consumers' data on their devices, etc. So, you know, we need a lot of expertise and a lot of time to build those engines.
And you've mentioned partnership. This is a very interesting question. Do you have any partners in this project?
Well, not currently. We are actually looking at most of the other initiatives happening in the Ethereum blockchain space. One or two I've spoken to specifically. I think an ICO for Ties network is going along at the minute, which seems very, very interesting. They're building a distributed, decentralized database, which I think would be very, very handy for us as well. Once we get to the backbone stage and we want to store a lot of the metadata about how the predictive models would be fed in, we would need a decentralized database on the blockchain, preferably. And, you know, we could look at talking to the Ties network. And again, I think the essence is with the ERC20 tokens, the whole idea is about integration between different applications. So as the Ethereum market grows, and as you see today, you know, that there are 500 plus Ethereum tokens, i.e. there are 500 plus applications, which I know of are kind of live trading on the exchange. Imagine the scenario where, you know, 5 years down the line, you would start seeing, again, an example of Pillar. So Pillar is building an operating system for the blockchain, you know, and they want to decentralize all their data, as in take control from a central holder to kind of decentralizing their data. And they're building an iOS based on Ethereum platform. So I'm assuming once Pillar is ready, their wallet is ready, Here's database, the decentralized database is ready. All of these are operating using the ERC20 token, including VuePay, right? So if we start integrating, I think the essence is it's very, very powerful to integrate various different applications using the Ethereum tokens together. And that's where you will see the synergies coming in as a lot of the platforms start to mature within 2 or 3 years.
I see. And what is the particular sum you want to raise?
So I think we want to start with 20,000 ethers for the project to be viable. But what we've said is that because the value of ether is fluctuating so much, it'll be the team decision at the end of the day. If we are very close to the mark, say we raise 15,000 or 10,000 ether or a reasonable amount of money, we're going to go back and get a team vote and see if the team votes and are comfortable running different components in the VuePay platform, because I've given ownership to my team to run multiple components of the VuePay platform, which will come together as the whole VuePay platform, right? So all of the guys I'm working with need to give me a feedback to say, well, with the limited budget, the money we raise, is it a viable idea to build it or not? And
Oh,
that's
so
the
you
way.
have a democracy inside your company, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think we believe in, uh, a CEO or a CTO model, and that's why we've just kept it to co-founder and given people titles at what they're good at. In the sense, we've got a title like chief data scientists, chief data architects, head of data management, head of machine learning. So these are very specific roles within themselves, and candidates have the caliber to run their subsequent teams in their particular areas. And I see that these modular components would then come together to build the whole VuePay platform.
Okay, and tell us in more details, please, about your tokens. What are the key benefits of your tokens?
So I think the key benefit is that, as I said, it will be fueling the VuePay platform end to end. So imagine if the advertiser wants to advertise on VuePay, they would need to go and buy VuePay tokens, and it will fuel them, or it fuels, as it fuels the platform, it'll let them publish their ads on the VuePay platform for a particular fee. And then from the consumer point of view, these VuePay tokens would be distributed depending on a tier system as to what content or what ad is trustable at what level. So we're going to be coming up with trust tiers where the most trusted would be getting the less ad revenue, and so on. As it kind of keeps going down, the trust increases, the distribution of the VuePay decreases with the consumer. So everybody in the VuePay platform, consumers, advertisers, and the platform itself would be run through the VuePay tokens.
Okay, I see. And in general, what do you think about the perspectives of ICO market in general?
No, I think it is, I mean, if you look at the traditional way of funding, it was very, very difficult to kind of find people in a traditional way. You had to, you had to make a really, really a big pitch. You needed a huge network of people you knew who were, interested in your idea. And most importantly, I think even after you'd built the product for the investor, they weren't really sure as to, will they get a return on their money or not. But I think ICO has, it's a twofold segment. One is the product side of things itself with the investment, and the other very big thing which people don't talk about much is the trading side of things, which is where I think 80% of the focus is, believe it or not, where people, I think they're actually genuine ICOs, people who want to build products like ourselves. And then there are people who want to build their token just for the token to be traded and leverage the tokens to kind of get benefit out of trading. So I think there are two bigger components. And I think for that reason, it makes it very, very interesting for all the investors as well. Because at the end of the day, they can realize and look at realizing the money a lot sooner than in the way traditional VCs work. So for example, let's say if you were a traditional venture capitalist and invested $10 with me, and after a few years of development, you would still not see the benefit of where those $10 were spent, or what happened to those $10. Whereas with the ICO market, it's crowdfunding based, and everybody kind of owns some sort of an asset in terms of VuePay tokens, and we all know that they hold an intrinsic value which can appreciate or depreciate, right? So at least from my perspective, if I was an investor and I invested $10 in your product, obviously with all due diligence and thinking that, yes, you have a great idea and your product will mature and, you will build something of value. But if it doesn't happen, even though if it doesn't happen, you might have a chance to get some portion of your money back in terms of trading the VuePay tokens, trading the tokens, not the VuePay tokens per se, but trading any ERC-based token, right?
I see, yeah.
So I think that is what is keeping the market afloat, I guess, because there is a trading element of the tokens as well.
Okay. To sum up our interesting discussion, will you please tell me in one or two sentences, just in brief, why shall I invest in VuePay?
Well, I think why you should invest in VuePay is because what we're trying to build is an intelligent, smart platform where, simply put it this way, that if you have advertisements, you will not ignore those ads anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the message,
Yes, that's clear. That's great. Okay, then, Sarah, thank you very much for this interesting interview. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Elena.
Okay, this was ICO Talk, and my guest today was Saurabh Bhola, a co-founder of VuePay. Subscribe to our channel and watch more interesting videos and interviews. Bye-bye.